This story is by Itch That Needs Scratch. Okay, so this happened to me when I was young. I can't remember the exact age, but I was around 13 to 14 years old. My cousin came over to play some video games. I heard the gate close, and because I was so excited that he's coming, I looked out from the window of my room into the yard where I saw my cousin approaching the entrance door. I was on the second floor. As soon as he closed the door, literally a second later, he knocked on my door and entered. I screamed like I had a jump scare, and I was just staring at him for a while. He asked me, "Is everything okay?" Me panicking like I saw a ghost, shouted at him, asking how he got up there so fast. He was very confused, and he told me he has no idea what I'm talking about. He came up normally, even said hi to my mum. I sort of calmed down after half an hour, but I just couldn't erase it from my mind. Let me explain. After you enter our home, the first thing is to take your shoes off, European style. After that, you need to go through a second door that leads to the living room. From there, you go to another door that has relatively long stairs up. And after two corners in my door, I try to test how fast I can do the same thing, and even with not closing any doors, even without shoes, and running wild, the fastest was 11 seconds. He did this in a second. Did he teleport, or did I lose a sense of time at that exact moment? It still bugs me after all these years. This story is by It's Okay _ It's Alright. When I was around 7 years old, I shared a room with my younger sister. She got scared a lot at night and would wake up and go sleep in our parents' room. We both had a twin-sized bed with the head up against the wall and nothing on either side of the bed. One night, after my sister had gone into our parents' room, I felt someone tapping my shoulder. I can't explain why I knew it was something bad. Something about the force of the tapping, knowing I was a young girl. I pretended to be asleep and slowly pulled the blanket over my head. After a few seconds, I felt the tapping again. A little harder this time, but on the same part of the back of my shoulder. I peeked out from my blankets, and straight ahead of me, on the opposite wall, I saw a dim light. A large shadow of a man slowly walked by. I saw his shadow against the light. I remember his profile, how he had a large nose and a strong jaw. He seemed to slowly move across the room and then disappeared. I was frozen. I couldn't move. Even after the light faded away and it was dark again, I sat there, staring straight ahead in confusion, fear. I don't know. I was only 7, and even though I was well aware of spirits and the such, I had never had a spirit make physical contact with me. I hid under my blankets again, curled up and squeezed my eyes shut. I guess I fell asleep because then I woke up again. It was morning. It's something I'll never forget. I can't still picture him walking across my bedroom. Hands down, one of the scariest ghost experiences I've had. Years later, I found out the people who lived in that house before us had painted the dining room black so they hold seances. Fun times. This story is by Capri_Sun_1. I've had quite a bit of paranormal experiences. I was also able to see spirits when I was a kid, but the scariest experience I've ever had happened when I was around 8 or 9. So, when I was 7, me and my family just moved into this pretty old house. You wouldn't think anything was off if you didn't live in the house or go in the basement. No bad energy, and the house was in good condition. The only thing weird about the upstairs was the fact that there was just a back door and then nothing. No deck, not even stairs. There was just 1-story drop. There was a total of 6 bedrooms in the house, 3 rooms upstairs and 3 in the basement. Me and my sister had to sleep in the basement because my mum and little brother slept upstairs. My mum was also heavily pregnant and the other room was going to be for the baby. Anyway, fast forward a year, my mum and her boyfriend were out and my grandparents were watching us. They had just put us to bed and probably only a half an hour later, someone who appeared to be my grandma opened my door and asked something along the lines of me to follow her because we were going to go to get a treat. I don't know why, but I pretended to be asleep. My grandma, or who appeared to be my grandma, waited about a minute before saying, "I guess you don't get anything then shut the door and left. Not even 3 seconds later, I jumped out of bed and went out to tell her that I was awake and I wanted the treat. I opened the door. There was nobody out there. I walked down the hallway and up the stairs. There were my grandparents in my mum's room talking. I didn't get a good look to see what they were doing because I was so freaked out that I just ran back to my room and tried to fall back asleep. I still don't understand how that happened, and I know that story sounds fake, but I promise you it's 100% true."